Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a video covering the Finemax Noah. This is a new magnesium mouse on the market, now in pre-order. I think there's only 1,000 units, so keep in mind if you are interested in this mouse, you're going to have to act fast because I do think it will be going fairly quickly. The mouse does go up to a 4,000 hertz polling rate. I was only able to test it during my testing on 1,000 hertz. I had a really early prototype here, and it's something I've been testing now for about 2 months. So again, a majority of my testing was on 1,000 hertz. Performance felt absolutely fine. Was able to crush on the shape as well as the sensor implementation. The 3395 felt really good. The mouse does come in at 48 grams, and you can see the battery here actually does sit on the bottom of the mouse. The overall weight balance, when you pick it up, you can maybe feel it leaning a little bit towards that battery, but overall in game, there was never a moment where flicking this around, I felt that weight like very densely committed to either the top or bottom portion of the mouse. It actually feels well distributed while whipping the mouse around. Now, the main thing that you guys are probably looking at is the all magnesium top shell. The main buttons, the sides, everything here on the top of the mouse is magnesium. And this is probably the best build quality magnesium that I've had. Like when you move this thing, it doesn't budge a millimeter. So I can squeeze really, really hard on the sides of the mouse or the top of the mouse. There is just like not a shred of movement on my particular copy. Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 are implemented actually quite well. There's a little bit of movement, more so on Mouse 2. That is nothing that I will ever feel in game. When I'm holding ADS, I can't feel that button move, or if I'm holding down and spraying, there's just no movement. There's no switch grind, and the blue shell pink dots feel and sound super crispy. And overall, I just have like the most minute amount of pre-travel before the actuation of the switch. And then just ever so slight post-travel, probably some of the most minimal post-travel that I've seen on new releases in 2025. So really, really good switch implementation and feels super crispy on both Mouse 1 and Mouse 2. I don't know if the encoder is a TTC Gold or TTC Silver. I will try to update you guys in the comments. It feels like a gold to me. It's got well-defined steps that are a little bit dampened in terms of like, you don't hear it scratching or anything like that when scrolling up or down. And middle mouse is super, super spammable. It feels actually really good to use Mouse 3. These side buttons are a angled incorporation of the plastic here on the side buttons. They are matte, which I like, and overall they're a size and in a position that I had absolutely no issues in game. The side buttons are the only buttons on the mouse that have a little bit of kind of a more noticeable pre and post travel, but nothing that is of any concern at all. Like the post travel, the buttons don't go into the inside of the mouse. It's just with that additional travel, they feel not quite as fun to use as the blue shell pink dots in Mouse 1 and Mouse 2. But again, fully functional and really not an issue that I would feel annoy me in game. So getting to the top shell of the mouse, you guys can see it's got these textured hexagons on the top shell, and it also has these holes on the left and the right side of the mouse. I think I would have preferred if the mouse didn't have any of those geometric shapes or cutouts. They do cause a little bit of grit to build up on the left side of the mouse. So during gameplay, after hours and hours of use, after cleaning it, you will feel a little bit of moisture build up, and it does become a little bit slippery feeling on the left side of the mouse and the right side of the mouse. Didn't have an issue, surprisingly, with the top hexagons, but the sides definitely felt like they built up a little bit of moisture. So definitely a mouse that you would need to implement some use of grips if you have an issue with a little bit of moisture buildup on the sides. I don't necessarily get either why they did the hexagon cutouts, considering that they're not actually cutouts. I don't know what the idea was there, if it was just for like maybe some additional texture or grip in thought. But again, I just don't think it works quite well on the sides of the mouse. So the bottom of the mouse, you can see, is the only area of the shell that is plastic, and they do have some well thought out holes kind of precision drilled here on the under the skates, as well as where the battery is. And overall, again, the weight balance and weight distribution is fine. Again, a little bit towards the back end where the battery is, but nothing that felt distributed inadequately while whipping it around in game. So overall, I do feel that FINEMAX has done a really good job. The main thing will be whether or not this shape and size are something that suit you. And for comparison purposes, I would say the mouse kind of falls into this bracket, this essence of an Aerox 3, a Sensei, and the now new YSL OGM Cloud V2. It feels a lot smaller in the hand comparatively to the Cloud, both in terms of its grip width, its length, and that extra inner hand maneuverability feels fantastic. It will feel as though, like, where the OGM kind of rounds up, it feels less meaty in that area. So it is a little bit easier to get some inner hand maneuverability. And the thumb curve is not quite as aggressive. Like, you can see the Cloud kind of has that curve and then deeply kind of swoops in rather aggressively. The Noah doesn't quite get to that extent, but still has a bit of a swoop. So that your thumb will feel as though it's a little bit flatter on the left side, as well as your ring and pinky finger on the right side comparatively to the Cloud. Now, the only issue I had with my grip on the Noah is this ridge on the right side. Because of the size differences with the Cloud, I actually do find every once in a while, like when I start to hybrid and I get a little bit more downward pressure, when I apply downward pressure in game, my ring finger right at like the joint just digs into that right hand curve on the side, the ridge on the right side. It does cause a little bit of annoyance in game, but overall, like when I am pretty much just fingertipping or kind of getting more of a claw activation, I never feel that in any way, shape, or form. I do think it would be a really nice mouse for people looking to relax fingertip, or people looking to claw, or people with maybe smaller hands that are full palming the mouse. But overall, again, the performance that I had in game was fantastic. Even though I, again, did a majority of my testing on 1000 hertz polling, I had absolutely zero issues with my tracking on the 3395 sensor. And I do feel the shape worked very well for me. I was able to really, really get some good beams and felt great. So that's really all I have to say about the FINEMAX Noah. Again, there's a few things that didn't necessarily work for me. That right side ridge, the textured cutouts on the top and the sides of the mouse, more so the sides of the mouse. Other than that, overall, the mouse just feels absolutely fantastic. And if you're looking for an all magnesium top shell, you will find that here with the FINEMAX Noah. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. See you guys in the next review. Peace.